Taylor, specifically on the defensive end, how do you categorize what happened tonight?
We were just poor. Lack of urgency and transition in the first quarter led to easy drive and kick threes. And then we tried to switch. No level of physicality, too many breakdowns. They put us in rotations a lot. They had great execution against our switches, but we could have been a whole lot better defensively. Dug ourselves a huge hole. Much better effort in the third and fourth quarter. We needed that in the first two quarters against the best team in the NBA, and that's the disappointing that we didn't come in with that frame of mind, and we were playing catch-up the entire night.
They first pushed it to their lead to double digits in the early second quarter. You came back with Edey to start the quarter. They still had Jared Allen on the bench. They had more of a smaller lineup. Were you trying to get Edey against a smaller lineup, or was that a normal substitution pattern and it sort of didn't work out for you?
Yeah, I mean, we had talked about our normal sub patterns against it, and we wanted to bully him. He got a couple offensive rebounds. He's actually been numerically pretty good when you switch, but give them credit. They guys that we were trying to help off of and force them to knock down threes, knock down some threes. So it really wasn't on Zach, in those situations. But then I was just trying to find a spark, by digging deep into the bench to find something offensively. They're playing zone, over 3/4 of the game, and we weren't playing collective and fast enough. We were hesitant in that department too, and so he usually starts the second quarter, and we actually kind of like some of the stuff that we were going to do. We were trying to blitz early. We didn't blitz, so we just went to our switches, and I thought he actually did a pretty decent job on the ball. It was just our rotations behind it that we were really struggling with all night.
Taylor in the back, against them specifically, with how many threes they take and make, how does that change the equation for you guys with the game plan in terms of, I'm sure you guys don't want to recklessly take a bunch of threes, but I imagine you think you probably have to hit a certain number if you want to hang with them?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, a lot of their guys knock down shots. I mean, their bench is probably the best in the league. I don't think it's a deal of like, hey, they're going to shoot 51 threes. We have to shoot 51 threes. I mean, like, we got great looks. We made them late. We didn't make enough. Obviously, Des didn't get them to fall. Luke struggled tonight. They were trying to take him out there playing a box and one. Obviously, he had a good night against them in the first matchup. But I think our urgency, a lot of their threes are created with miscommunication and transition, and they put us in rotations because we had two on the ball when we didn't want two on the ball. We wanted just one guy on one. Our resistance in one-on-one situations and then shifts, multiple efforts. They were there sometimes, and then we didn't. They made us pay. Saw Merrill get going because of missed rotations. Obviously Struce to start the game was just coming off freely and hit some tough shots. We were trying to chase and blow things up with other pick and roll coverages, but give them credit. They shot the heck out of the ball. We're not trying to trace the 3-point numbers. Obviously they tried to take away their threes from us by playing some zone and stalling us out with our drive and kick. And when we got those shots, they just didn't really fall.
Coach, past 10 games, Jaws really stepped up the scoring. Tonight, obviously, a great game. It really seems like he's found a groove in the mid-range, shooting nearly 60% over that. What are you seeing from him as far as his offensive game goes? Obviously, him getting to the rim, but the ability to go alternate to that mid-range, it really seems to be elevating his overall scoring ability, getting back to, what we usually see from him.
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome. He's playing with an aggressive mentality. I mean, obviously, he had a heck of a night tonight. I leaned into him, for long stretches there because he was the one that was penetrating the paint. He was knocking down mid-range shots. He was getting to the free throw line, but also I thought his playmaking was good. I mean, he ended up with 7 assists. He could have had, even more. They were playing zone. They were man. Like, he was finding where his teammates were. Thought he was doing a good job baiting them into 2 or 3 defenders on him and finding guys. And, we made a few shots, but we definitely, missed too many as well. So I thought he was playing with great pace, great poise throughout, despite a rough night overall from the team. And, to see what he's been doing, these last couple of weeks, just finding that aggressive mentality and picking his spots when to score and also play make it. He's balancing both sides. Has been very impressive. We got to continue to get more out of him.
Taylor, in that first quarter when Ja went out, I think you guys were down by 2, 26-24. When he came back in midway through the second, you guys were down by 18. What didn't happen in that second quarter from the rest of the guys to sort of keep the momentum that he had?
Yeah, I mean, they, defensively for us, I'm going to be a broken record. We had a good switch lineup out there defensively, and it was poor execution. Obviously some of the guys that we were trying to force to knock down shots made some shots. Mobley had a little stretch there. I think it was in the second quarter when, you said Ja was on the bench, and then offensively they went to a box and one that kind of stalled us out a little bit. And then when we recognized it, I thought we had some good ball movement. Our offensive rebounding wasn't there. I thought they really did a good job negating some of our offensive rebounding in the first half. So that was probably the stuff that, kind of stuck out to me. I'll watch the tape and see what really happened during that stretch, but definitely, that was when the game turned.
against some of the best teams, the games are harder. But I'm just curious your assessment of just how the team has played overall this season against some of the elite competition in the NBA.
Yeah, I mean we've definitely struggled offensively. We've put in some work the last month plus against, or maybe even dating back to January, against some of the top defenses. We haven't seen zone, so that's something that we've been trying to work on the last actually couple of days, just being prepared for it. Didn't work out for us tonight. So offensively, we've definitely had our struggles. I think we've been trending a little bit better than where we were at the start of the season. And then defensively, I mean, whether it's good, the top teams in the league, or even teams that maybe are struggling throughout the season, we're not consistent enough defensively. So I've got to lock in on improving our transition defense. We're fouling too much. Our discipline in coverages, like when we're locked in and we execute, I love where our defensive level is at. But we're having too many games where we're not putting 48 minutes together on the defensive side.
Hey, Coach, how do you find the energy going in tomorrow night with all the festivities and a night that embodies one of the core four members and that brings all the intensity that kind of built this franchise up? How do you guys find that after not having it tonight?
Yeah, I mean, our guys are just going to have to fill up their cups and come back to work and compete. We've got more to give, it's the end of a long stretch here, and it's a great challenge tomorrow against the Miami Heat, another physical team. They're probably going to play zone against us. We got to take stock in what happened tonight and be better from it. And then it's going to be awesome. I mean, there's going to be a buzz in the gym. We're going to need our fans to pump us up. We're going to have to pump ourselves up, but to be able to celebrate one of the most iconic players in franchise history. I mean, first team TA. I mean, it's going to be awesome. The celebration. I mean, organization has done a phenomenal job, with Zach and Mark, and it's going to be awesome. Hopefully, we can play better, tonight and get a better result, and then go celebrate TA and all the amazing things he did here, for the Memphis Grizzlies.
Coach, outside of this game, today was Women's Empowering Day. I just want to get your thoughts of the women that made an impact in your life and the women in this organization. What have they contributed?
Yeah, I mean, I'll answer the second part. We have unbelievable women working on our organization. I've been fortunate enough to work with amazing women on the coaching staff, on our medical team and our front office, media relations, security teams. I mean, they're awesome. I mean, they bring a high level of work commitment. It's been amazing. They've made me better, at the end of the day. And then in my life, like my mom and my two aunts have been the most influential women since I was a little kid. My mom being, my rock, my best friend, and I'm married to my beautiful wife, who's my ultimate supporter. So the female influence has been strong in my life ever since, and has made me the best man that I can be, and best coach, best friend, best father, best husband in every role that I've got in my life. Great, thanks everyone. Appreciate it.